Good morning, everyone. We're going to work from this beautiful photo taken by Sharon Scarlata of Ipswich. She's a wonderful photographer. I'm doing this with her permission. Okay, we begin with some Aurelian yellow. Paint that around the sun. Leave that white. That white is very important, so don't lose it. Putting a drop of raw sienna on there as well to deepen it. A little bit of just blue in the sky. That's a little bit of ultramarine. And that bottom blue on the beach is ultramarine with a touch of rose. Put a little bit of Windsor blue in the sky. It's a winter morning sky, so you want it to be nice and bright. All right, just very light wash of violet. Let that come down. Just save that white on that light. Going darker on the beach itself. This is mostly ultramarine blue, a little tiny touch of quin rose. Lighter on the beach as it goes near the water. We're going to go back to that, okay? This is a little violet in the sky. I'm creating that cloud. And I'm adding a little bit of raw sienna here to enhance the sky, but it will really enhance the light. Ultramarine with quin sienna. Ultramarine with quin rose and quin sienna to make that dark. Just draw the bottom of that hill in the back. We're going to get back to it. And the top of the hill on the right here with that dark color. There's a couple of houses on top. Just silhouettes, no detail. No detail at all, just a couple of silhouettes of houses on the top. A couple of chimneys. Okay, all right. All right, now we're going to take some cad red with a little raw sienna in it, and we're going to put it across the top of this where the light is hitting it. Okay, let it nice and loose, not too dry up there. It's going to be nice and wet. Let it come down and drip into the black, and we'll run it right across the top there. Okay. So that circle of light should be wet here. We're painting into a wet area and then just picking up some of the drip. Just let it come down. You really just want that edge showing, but it's going to cast light down on the hill, so we want that to be nice and wet and juicy. Okay, let it run on it. So here we're going to take some really deep ultramarine blue. You can put a little touch of rose in it if you like. This is the shadow. This is that hill is in deep shadow. Okay, try to soften that edge. You don't want a real hard edge between the dark and the shadow. All right, we'll get back to that. All right, so take some of that dark ultramarine with a touch of quin sienna, and we're going to create some distant rocks on that hillside. All right, just look at the photo. Just work those rocks up and down, especially on the edge of the water where it touches the edge. All right, this is the edge of the water where the water came up and obviously melted the snow right at the edge of the beach there. So what you're looking at is that dark sand beneath the snow, right along the crest of the beach. Over here we have a bunch of rocks. These are just, you're looking basically at silhouette of stones, you know, big stones that have piled up from the tide washing in all along the beach there. You know, so just take your time and get those in. You can study them off the photo, but you can, you know, kind of make up your own. There's a couple of nice big ones right here that we're going to work on. So just place those. They're scattered all throughout on the beach. So we're going to place the stones first, and then we're going to create the shadow of both from the snow drifts and from the stones themselves. Okay. We're going to take some very light violet here and paint. Use a dry brush so you might get some nice sparkles on the water out there if your brush is dry. Drier the better. You can always go back and add a little more water and join those together. Okay. Right along the shoreline. That corner of the shore is in shadow, so it's getting a little more violet down in there. And then we're going to do the other side. Same thing. All right, so you thought this was going to be a hard painting, but it's not. So the left edge is going to be a little bit darker than where it meets the light. All right, a piece of an island out there. All right, see how easy that was? Couple of waves coming in. All right, these are always fun. Nice sunset. Putting a little Iranian yellow up there near the light. Okay. All right, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a nice, fun painting. Please subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.